Anybody out there? Hey, listen, you guys, I made it through this. It's later in the afternoon. I don't know, after 6 or 7 or so. I made it through all that. Listen, I don't know why I was making so weird. I actually really, I kind of do, but it becomes really foggy whenever you got a little cry to come on. Because everything kind of runs together, and that's just the way, that's the power of your emotions. They really can just destroy everything. You can just be having the most perfect day, and then something happens, and bam, everything hits the ground. There's a combination of things, because I really wanted, to help teach this thing, but to tell you the truth, I've only been just learning. I've been learning how to do it, and got all the little pieces that it takes. This is like climbing the ladders till you get to the 6th point. And it's like, this is where I've been for the last few couple of days. I've been on that, I popped over to that other side. It's like, I did a lot of work. I did a whole lot of work, and then I go to prove it because, I have opened the book up all the time. I'm always going and finding certain little things, but, when I say that I was going to open up this thing, and I was going to blow it out of the water, I was sure hoping I was ready. I was just saying that I was ready to take it on, and all the things that I had talked about before all kept rolling in the same direction. Keep rolling. People say, you can fit that into anywhere. Well, how is it that it fits in everything? How is that? How is it? And I didn't write the Bible. So I can't take responsibility for writing it or hiding it, but I can take responsibility for helping so many other people try to unveil it and bring it out and tell you about it. Listen, it was one thing at one time to have the Bible even printed in a way or translated so that you could talk to me about it, or we could talk about it. And then to even think about how it was written, to show you that there is another way. I'm not asking a question anymore about, is there two ways? I'm in this part where, like I said, I just did all this work and I jumped in there. And after reading all of that stuff and doing all my homework, and I went right on here to start thinking, it was like, trying to ingest it all together, and then this morning trying to finish it up with that, with who the false prophets are and stuff like that. It just hit me. Because I woke up to all kinds of lies, and that's why I haven't watched TV in years. But I've been watching it at a friend of mine's. So I was watching his house. I'd watch that at night and fall asleep. But that's the most TV I've gotten in a long time. Anything I want, I can find on the computer. But I'm not into the program, and I watch a lot of old stuff. But no, I have turned off to all this stuff, and I know I'm on my way somewhere. And then I found this stuff, and it teaches you how to meditate. So I've been practicing meditating and stuff like that. And then I opened up that book, and it was just so clear. It was just so clear, so easy to teach, and I have to try to put it through some kind of a filter so it's simple, but I just put it through my stupid little mind, and it comes out simple. And I thank God that you guys are able to follow me through my dyslexia. Like I say, sometimes, if you can see it, my dyslexia, as you hear my dyslexia. If you were to read it, it sometimes sounds pretty terrible too. But they get mixed up too. A 5 will show up where an F is supposed to be and stuff. It's just crazy. And then the computer asks you, oh, do you mean to spell it like this, or this? 3 choices? You mean in the first one that I did wasn't right? Then listen, it doesn't mean you're not, intelligence I don't think has anything to do with knowing how to spell and stuff. But I've been conveying a message, and then it just kind of hit me, and it just, what a lie, another lie, and the biggest one of all. So this has to be what they call the big deception This is just the biggest. It's the biggest deception I can think of, and I don't know. It's something. I think it changed me, and that's what it's supposed to. This is my revelation. That's the whole idea behind the story of Revelation. Is once you get a good hold of those four parts of the fourfold nature of man, which is you have your intellect on your the west side, and you have your spiritual side on the east. This is the black and white. All right. The black's supposed to serve the white. That doesn't mean that I'm serving the white. This is the way it's supposed to be, but it has nothing to do with slavery. Although I am a slave to this higher energy, this higher side of me. I'll let it do whatever it wants to with me. Because it's outside things. Because otherwise it can't do anything. Remember, they think he can do all kinds of things. He likes to kill things. He likes to stomp the grapes out of people. And we know better than that. So something happened, a change. So it's like this seventh, that's an external rapture, and because that's the internal rapture is when you make it up to the sixth and the seventh. The door is open to this heaven, and you go fly through there. This is what it means to do the work, and then you're ready to go, and all those numbers, no matter where you are in that book, those numbers show up, old and new, and those many that never made it in are just chock full of it. It's just absolutely loaded. Everything says it, and I can't make all that up, all I can say is I'll give you, whenever I learn how to do something where you can see it, I'll write it all out. I don't want to be the only one. They can't keep the knowledge. I'm not like the Catholic Church. I don't want to say, hey, I've already given you the number system. I've already told you how to look for the earth and the water, and then the air and then the fire, the stages of consciousness. You can look that up. That's the truth. It's just science. Take the heat off of me. I'm taking the heat off the Bible. I think that, this is going to be all kinds of hell to break loose. And I don't care, but, I need people to help me out, in a way that, just like the world needs, more people out there need carrying a light and a little lantern around. Because this ain't no hocus pocus shit, this is a way of turning on a particular side of you that makes you, your aura and things like that, just shine brighter, and it helps out the neighborhood, it helps everything. It's a good thing. There is absolutely nothing evil about it. But for some reason, it's been buried deep, 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 and that's what we call the well. There's this well, and the wells are dug deep down into earth, deep into the earth, where you find the true fresh water. And what that is saying is that internally, the earth is your mind, and you have to go way down deep into that. That's the well. That's the well that has the cap on it. This is the one where God's followers come to feed, to drink, to take on this nourishment. This is where they come in. This is so beautiful and so beautifully written, and to think that that's the only thing that separates us from torment and hell is a way of thinking. You can believe in the bloody Israel, the one that's in bondage on the ground, and you'll get nothing out of that. You'll get whatever you ask. You'll get whatever you've paid for. Yeah. But if you learn to support the Israel that is above, the mother of us all, the right hemisphere of the brain, this connection brings you right in connection with our Maker, makes you a Jew, makes you the chosen one, makes you a person who is an inwardly person, then this will connect you to a world that will bring you light and happiness. Regardless of what kind of crap goes on in the outside, it takes it away. And like me, I got weak. Here I should be joyful and showing you that, hey, there's the truth. Hey, man, this is what our souls want. But I just flashed through all these people dying and arguing and loving the Lord with all of their hearts, and then being tricked because they did. That hurts. I just still don't want to think about that. What a trick on humanity. The great deception. The great deception. You just can't just think about that and say, oh, that's just the way it was. No, it's the way it is. It's the way it is, and it's a shame and sad. That's the difference between working with half a brain and working with the whole brain. And these people say, well, I only use 10%. Therein, lies your poverty. So anyways, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to do some more of this stuff. There's plenty more, but I think I've nailed it. This is the number one through time. I don't give a damn what kind of cement icon has been built in its name. It's not true. This story is older than any of those buildings on Earth that are set up at this time. My message is still clear that this Jesus, this teacher, this Buddhist, this Krishna, these things are all teaching you how to go back home, how to reconnect, being that prodigal son, the one that got out and lost, had himself prostituted to the point of being sold as a slave, and when he was tired and he was over with it, when he had just had enough, he came back to his father, and his father put a giant coat around him, a beautiful coat, paraded him around and gave him a banquet, brought him back. He was lost. His brother says, I never left you. How come he gets this? He says, well, you were never lost. So anyways, I love you guys. Take care of yourselves. And this is what is it? This is God's truth, God's honest truth. I'm telling you. Get away from religion. Jump the fence. I'll see you later.